What's up, guys? I'm really excited to come out here and do a little bit of vlog with you guys. It's been a while since I've done one, and kind of wanted to come out and talk to you guys about a few things. I posted on social media that I ordered 23andMe, which is this guy right here. So I'm really excited about doing that. I've been curious about it for a long time. Listened to a lot of people talk about it, and you know, heard a lot about it on podcasts and things like that. So I've been really kind of curious about it. Posted it on social media like Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff, and got a ton of really cool responses from you guys about you know, how some of you guys were adopted and things like that, and were able to find family, and it's really super cool stuff. It's one of the cool things about being a vlogger, a content creator, a YouTuber. You get to interact with a lot of different people from a lot of different walks of life, and you get to hear a lot of really cool stories, especially on a channel like this one, where I tell, you know, stories about my own life and things like that. You know, you get to learn a lot about people from all over the world. Super cool. And I've always been kind of curious about stuff like 23andMe, Ancestry.com, stuff like that, which this is not at all sponsored, so don't think we're sponsored by them or anything. I legitimately just paid for this, and you know, wanted to try it. Super curious about it. Some of you guys came up with some really funny stuff, conspiracy theories that it was gonna be cloned, or they were gonna use my DNA for all kinds of weird stuff, and I don't know. I doubt it. If the government was out to get me, I think there's easier ways than taking my DNA, but I'm gonna go ahead and try this and kind of walk you guys through the process. And I don't know how long it's gonna take to get the results back, but I'm super excited. So I've already kind of cheated a little bit. I did open it. I took the plastic wrapping off and took a look at the package. Now there's two ones you can get. There's the regular one that goes over just your background, your genetic background. The one I got was a little bit more expensive, but it has focus. It has the health part of it, which I'm also interested in, because all the stuff that my family's dealt with, I'm curious about, you know, my genetic risk, kind of big picture, what could I be? And so I'm curious about where my background is. You know, as far as I know, my family is primarily Irish and Scottish. But with this stuff, you never know. Some people have been finding Neanderthal DNA and stuff like that in their genomes and crazy stuff. But the cool thing about this is the more advanced they get, I think they continue to send you stuff the more they learn about your genetic code. Just kind of neat. But there's I guess there's a few companies out there that does stuff like this, but surprisingly enough, it's not that expensive to do, considering it's mapping your genetic code. You know, it's definitely worthwhile, especially you know, like I said, for some of you guys that are adopted and things like that, and don't really know your family. You know, you could potentially get connected with loved ones you didn't really know you had, you know, which is pretty incredible. And you know, just kind of knowing where you came from, which is pretty awesome. So I'm gonna kind of go through this, but it's kind of weird. I'm always interested in doing some of this weird stuff. I'm super about life experiences, and just anything I could really get into, cultures, peoples, customs, foods, just activities, all the weird things about this world. You know, because although this world is kind of a bit of a mess, it can be a real pain in the ass at times, it's also really beautiful. And all the differences and things, it's just fascinating. All the different religions and customs, and I find it all kind of really interesting, and I'm super big on experiencing everything I possibly can in my lifetime. You know, because I'm one of those people who just, I don't want to be on my deathbed. I'm full of regrets, you know. I want to experience everything I possibly can and just be completely fulfilled in the life. I mean, that's ultimately what the meaning of life in general, right? Is to live, to grow, to to experience things and just become better and better. And everything you learn about the world and life and people and different people's walks of lives, the better you become, because, you know, it's just kind of one of those things. So I'm going to just kind of walk through this, and you know, I know some of you guys in general, this is a saliva collection kit, which is kind of the gross part, but you have to be fasted for like a half an hour. You can't eat or drink or do anything else for about half an hour, and let's just kind of open it. But basically, you do mail it off, and then they test it all and all that good stuff. But and then they get you your results. And a lot of this, I think, there's an app, and you can do a lot of this stuff online. But just kind of took off the like sleeve cover, and then you're left with this little package, which I'm not gonna show you the back because it's already got a mailing slip, so you can mail this back when you're done with it. But once you like open the package, you get this little book here, a little instruction book. It's hi, hello. That kind of goes over the details. Pretty simple instructions, and then you get this little case here, 23andMe, which is basically just got a couple different things inside. It's got a saliva collection tube with some chemical agent with it, and it's got a little slip cover that you got to put the thing in, which I don't know if I'm going to necessarily do that here, because spitting in a tube on camera is probably pretty disgusting. So and then basically you close it up, you seal it up. There's a pre-seal thing inside. You take the sticker off, you seal it, and then you mail it off. It's pretty super simple process to do. And then you you just mail it off, and you see what happens. You get the results back. So I'm pretty stoked about this. It's one of the cool things about this particular channel. It's not really branded in any particular form. Like the Urban Ghost channel, you know, it's the urbex stuff, it's the scary paranormal stuff, you know, a little bit of motivational stuff. But this one is like the channel that Joe and I can really just kind of do whatever we want, you know, like have a good time. Like we have plans to kind of take you guys to the gym, like we said in the live stream last night. Plan on doing just cool cinematic videos about our trips and some behind the scenes stuff, kind of what it's like to kind of hang out with us before we actually do our explores and do the videos, and kind of get you in the mindset. I also kind of want to do a little bit more on like how you can really do this, you know, like be a content creator, YouTuber, you know, what kind of equipment we get, stuff like that. It'd be really cool to just kind of talk about, because that's the most fun for me, besides like interacting with a lot of the people and learning a bunch of stuff. Like I love going through all the tech stuff, doing the research, you know, playing around with like computers, you know, all the different types of like sound equipment, cameras, tripods, GorillaPod stands, working with like the phones, all the editing software. Like that stuff is pretty cool to me. I mean, I went to school for engineering, so I'm a bit of a techie. I'm interested in tech, and I do a lot of the design stuff, like, you know, with clothes and stuff like that. And I'm just always learning new cool ways to do things. You know, it's kind of one of the reasons why, like on some of my shots, like on some of my videos, I try to take my time, because I like to think about what are some cool shots I could do. With that kind of a thing, we don't get as much of an opportunity to play around with shot placements and angles and stuff like that, because it's just better when it's a little bit more raw and real, and you guys feel like you're actually there. So we don't get as much fun. But with vlogs, you can play around with angles and cool transition shots, and you know, we can play a little bit more around with the drone and just cool stuff like that. It's just a little bit more fun. You can experience us, you know, as us, and interact with us, and you know, it's kind of one of those things. But the big mission I want for this particular channel is is I don't really want to call it motivation. Motivation is kind of one of those general terms, but I really kind of want to do my part to improve the world. I think it's, with the growth that we have and the clout that we have, it's definitely our responsibility to try to do something to make people's lives a lot better. And I know we do it because we hear a lot of the stories of you guys dealing with things, depression. Some of you guys are dealing with illnesses. Some of you guys are dealing with like going to the doctor and figuring out whether or not you're going to get good or bad news depending on what the situation is, and family stuff and all kinds of craziness. So I'd like to, not only just bring awesome content that you guys can just enjoy and give you the opportunity, 30, 45 minutes to kind of step out of your lives, and forget about all your issues, but also, give you some advice here and there, and get some feedback from you guys, and just kind of have an open discussion about, certain things that I think about. Me personally, I'm an introverted person, which is kind of why Joe and I really work so well. He's a lot more extroverted, in the way he acts and does things, but I'm an introverted person, so I spend a lot of time just going through things in my head. I think about a lot of different things, and I have a lot of ideas, and I try to work through it. It's kind of cool to have an open forum discussion with you guys, because I get a lot of feedback, and it's fun to read, fun to go over, and it gives me new ideas to talk about, but I would say one of the biggest things is like I said, you gotta go out, you gotta experience things, man. You gotta try to experience the world. The world is such a big, gigantic, complex, beautiful place, and there's just so much that you could potentially experience that just will blow your mind. And I think so much of us get caught up in the 9-to-5 routines. We get up, we go to school, we graduate high school, we go to college, we get our jobs, we get married, we have kids, and then we die. It's like, I never wanted that. I wanted to have a story. I wanted to have a story. The day that I die, I wanted to be able to be like, wow, I lived. I really, really lived. And a big inspiration for that was a lot of, my grandmother. My grandmother's huge. She did so much. She took so many risks. She's still doing crazy stuff. Even at her age, with all of her health issues, she's always willing to go on a crazy adventure. And she's one of those people that is completely okay with getting lost, because you always discover something cool. And of course she and I have been lost many times, going to places, and we just look at it like a gigantic adventure. And she's always one to talk to strangers and things, like when we're online, at stores and at theme parks, and just learning from different people. And that was just kind of my big inspiration in life, is you can't just be mundane. It's not good enough. You got to live your life. You got to build a story, build a legacy. And it's even more important now that I'm on my way to get my little boy back. I've got the attorney, and that's already in process, and one day I'm gonna have him, and I want to be able to take him on adventures, take him to things, and allow him the opportunity to experience life to its absolute fullest, experience different people, different walks of life, different languages, different foods, different music, everything, because I feel like the more you experience in life, the more complete of a human being you could potentially be. And that's always my goal. I mean, that's my idea anyway. I may be wrong, but that just seems to be the way it goes. I mean, all the stuff we're experiencing now, I feel so much better about my life now than I did 2-3 years ago. I get the opportunity to meet cool people, I get the opportunity to discuss things with people, get the opportunity to learn so much about so many things, and it's just awesome, you know. And I don't know, I absolutely 100% love what I'm doing. I love content creating, and that's also a big part, is if you could find something that, you know, some sort of career, some sort of job, some sort of business, some sort of hobby that you can really relate to, and that you're okay with saying you are a certain thing, like I am an engineer, you know, I am a teacher, I am a police officer, I am in the military, you know. It's just something that, you know, really defines you as a human being, and that you just love and you're super passionate about. I mean, it changes the game, like, for real, you know. I mean, for so many years I've been just doing crazy stupid jobs, you know, just to put food on the table, and it's just not good enough. I mean, it's okay at first, it's okay temporarily, but after a while, you know, it becomes a weight. You know, if you're one of those people that wake up on Mondays just regretting the fact that you have to go into a stinking job, you know, like, you're just like, oh, I gotta go to work, you know, and you live for Friday because it's the last day you have to go and put in your time. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're doing something. If you're not doing what you're passionate about and you're doing what you love, you're basically selling your own time, which is the most valuable possession that any of us have. And you only have a finite amount. None of us know what the balance is, and you never freaking really know. And to sell your time at a place that you don't believe in and you don't like, or you're working with people that don't have the same values or same, just that you just don't mesh, you know, and you just live for that Friday, it's terrible, man. And then slowly it poisons you. I've seen it. It's toxic, you know. And if you can find something that you absolutely love, do not hesitate, go for it, you know. And even though it's freaking terrifying sometimes, like doing this, you know, when we first started, when I first was, you know, really looking for people to do this with, for months and months, you know, I just was really pushing myself to do this. It was freaking scary, man, because the internet is brutal. You know, the internet is super savage, like, does not pull any punches, and you got to be ready for that. And, you know, and it took me a while to really get used to that, you know, because especially when, you know, I had a little bit of experience doing TV and film and stuff like that, but just doing this stuff, we didn't know what we were doing. You know, we had a GoPro camera, we didn't really know what we were going to do on the camera, we had a generalized idea about what we wanted the brand to be, and we never expected for this to grow so fast, you know. And it's tough sometimes, and it's just, but at the end of the day, it's something I love and I'm passionate about, and we did it, and I'm glad we did. You know, that was a huge risk, and it freaking worked out, and I'm super happy about it. And now we're talking about going full time, and for someone like me who grew up with just nothing, you know, not a lot of money, just, you know, clothes on my back, and my dad working super hard to keep the lights on, and, you know, running 2 shifts and 2 or 3 shifts just to keep food on the table, and just crazy working hard. My grandmother working super hard hours, you know, as a vet, stuff like that, just trying to make things work, you know. And seeing that made me really appreciate the value of money, you know, and part of me is always worried, you know, that we're just not going to be able to afford to survive, you know. It's freaking terrifying. But I also understand that at some point we have to, because we can't put in the effort, we can't put out as much content as we need, we can't we can't be as interactive with you guys as much as we should if we do not do that, you know, because as this channel grows and the other channel grows and the requirements change, you know, we have to be available, you know, and it sucks, and sometimes it can be really stressful that we have to, you know, we have to go to work and we can't put in the time that we need, and we hit the ceiling, and we're very close to hit that point, and it's this weird patch period where it's like we can make enough to keep going, but it's not as much to cover all of our responsibilities, and it's just crazy, and you gotta weigh all these options, and it's super scary because you don't know if tomorrow YouTube's gonna pull the channel, or you know, or there's gonna be something else that suddenly is better than YouTube. You never really know. There's all these questions, but I know that it's got to be done. It's got to be done. You know, it's just part of trying to run a business. It's part of being an entrepreneur. It's just a part of trying to change the game. It's taking huge risks and seeing what happens. You know, I've been listening to a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people out there, and the biggest thing is to go and fail and learn and grow and just continue to get better, and that's what we're trying to do. You know, especially now, because like we talked about in the live stream, you know, with Joe, like, I mean, that was real. You know, I know we kind of laughed about it and stuff like that. That was real. You know, like he could have died, like, for real. And when you really stop and you think, like, God, what would we have done? What would I have done? You know, thinking about Joe and his kids, and sorry, I had to stop filming for a second. There was a bit of a lover's quarrel, and I didn't really want to get that on camera, so it took a second. But I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of wrap this up. This is a pretty good talk, you know. I'm just super excited to see where life's gonna really take Joe and I, and we really gotta just make the best of it, you know, because I mean, coming to that reality that, like, we could die at any moment. You know, I could have a car accident, I could get sick, you know, something as simple as just an infection, you know, almost took Joe's life, and that's just crazy. That's just crazy. It's terrifying, man, because when you look back and you look at your life and you start to think, I mean, what have I done? What have I done so far? You know, if I died tomorrow, what would I leave behind? You know, what would I have, you know, for my little boy to grow up and see and think about? And, you know, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's a crazy thing to really think about. And, so now, you know, I'm super motivated to really make something out of this. Really get super serious. You know, we've got all these trips planned, and it's gonna be super fun, super exciting, and you know, I'm ready to make this something that I'm proud of, build a story, to have something that Joe's proud of, that all of our kids can look at us and be like, dang, man, I want to be like that, or I want to do better, even better than they did, you know, and yeah, and we're going to take you guys along on this crazy adventure to grow with this, and hopefully we can really make a difference. Can really make a difference in your lives. And I'll be looking to get this information back from 23andMe, and I'll fill you guys in on what I find, for sure. But like I said, I love doing this. You know, I love making content. this has been so unreal the last couple years. You know, it's a real humbling experience. And, you know, I'm ready for 2019 and what it's going to bring for us. And it's going to be really cool. Anyway, love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe as always. Share. Please share, because a lot of people don't know about this channel. You know, so spread the word so we can get everybody from UGUE over here as well to help us out. And of course, UGUE merchandise is always available at www.uguebrothers.com. We also have a Teespring up with some stuff on there too. I know some people have gone on there as well, and all those links will be in the description below, as well as our links to our Facebook and our Instagram and our Twitter, and which you can reach out. You can DM us and email us and comment, do all kinds of crazy stuff, and just follow us and support us. But thanks so much to you guys. Thanks so much to all the patrons out there who have been helping us out monthly, and all you guys who've taken your hard-earned money and donated to us on our PayPal and all that good stuff. We definitely appreciate that. We're really thinking of some cool ways to thank you guys for sure. And those will be coming down the those things will be coming down the pipeline. I know I mentioned in the live stream, I think a really cool idea will be have you guys shoot some clips and some pictures and things like that, wearing UGUE gear, and you know, and we can throw it into a video if you desire to be in a video. Of course, if you're not interested in being in a video, you don't have to. But if you are interested, you can definitely email us those clips or email us the pictures, and we'd be happy to throw them up in some of our videos. You know, to just give you guys a big, humongous thank you for doing that and supporting the channel. Plus, this stuff's freaking cool, man. And especially these sweater jackets are super freaking comfortable. Actually, this one's like a double X. I'm a big dude, but this is a double X, and it's pretty huge. I even washed it. It didn't really shrink, but it's freaking comfortable. It's freaking warm either way. Should have probably gotten a smaller size, but I love it. And the t-shirts are great. I got a few myself. So anyway, love you guys. Peace out. I just downloaded this app for 23andMe. Look at all these terms and conditions. It's freaking crazy. Oh well. There's like 5 different pages you have to go through. Lots of terms and conditions. Spit tube. Doing science.